couple of defensemen special to come back here tonight, I'd imagine, but maybe just what they've added to your lineup in Pahal and Miramanov on your back end.
Something different for both of them. Like Pahal he's a physical defenseman, and he's probably the most physical guy that we do have on the back end, and he's pretty consistent with how he plays the game. So I look at him as a good kind of harder, stay-at-home type defenseman. Muro, when he's at his best, he's got ability on both sides of the puck. So when he's defending, he's got the long reach, not overly physical, but he gets his body in the way. And he does have an offensive skill set that he can utilize to help our team. So both guys bring something a little different to the table for us.
And both guys talked about the opportunity here in Calgary and trying to seize that every single day. I mean, is that part of that development curve too for these guys that you're going to get some chances, but you have to make the most of being in the lineup and in every day?
Yeah, and I think that's the consistency part that can be hard for a younger player. They understand who they are, but the really good players, the longer you've been around, they can bring it like 9 or 8 out of 10 times, and they understand how important consistency is in regards to their identity, and that even includes within games. So sometimes with the younger defensemen, you see they're going really well for most of the game, and they'll have a couple shifts where they just lose a little bit of focus and they have to work to get it back, where that's what those two guys are working to build for us, is really consistent with their identity and how they need to play.
You didn't get the results you wanted in the last couple of games, but now that you've had a chance to kind of look back at them, were there some things that you liked?
I liked our 5-on-5 play for sure. The areas that we got into trouble with was with our special team play. Both sides of it was not good enough the last 3 games that we played. And you can look to a little bit at the discipline side. And there's lots of different things that fall into the discipline category for our team when we talk to the guys. But one in particular is penalties that we're taking. Whether your penalty kill is on a heater and it's killing everything off, or it's struggling like ours is a little bit right now, you don't want to put them in a situation where they have to kill. And I feel like we've taken some poor penalties at bad times of games, and I think that's been one of the reasons why games that we could have won or got points in, we got nothing in.
With a player like Martin Pospisil, is there a fine line between making sure he doesn't cross that line and take penalties and just letting him be the player who he is? And I think it's safe to say he's best when he's kind of playing on the edge.
Yeah, you have to give him that, but at the same time, it's on the player to recognize situations, time of the game, score, who you're on the ice against. All that matters because momentum in the NHL shifts really quickly. So he is who he is. That's the way we expect him to play all the time. But much like we talked about with our 2 defensemen, there's a maturing process that has to go on there.
We know how difficult this building can be to play in, and obviously they've taken advantage of that this year, 6-0. But what is the challenge here tonight, and how does it have to look?
The building, I look at more of as a fun place to play, so I think guys get jacked up to play here. For us, I think it's not forcing the game. Vegas plays a very good 5-on-5 game. They're patient at times, and they wait for you to make mistakes, and then they capitalize or they get going the other direction with their transition game. So for us, I want to see the 5-on-5 play stay the same, but at the same time, I don't want to see us force anything. Just play and stay with what we have to do for the full 60 minutes.
Looks like the goaltender rotation will continue tonight. Is that a case of if it ain't broke, don't fix it with those 2 guys?
They're both playing really well right now, for sure. But as I said before, eventually there comes a time. But right now we feel with the way the schedule has been and the way it's shaking out to be over the next 2.5 weeks, it's a busy time for us. So keeping both guys in the net, I think, will be important.